nuclear medicine, but we have done our research and we reference spoken, emailed research, some of the most reliable and informed sources on the face of the earth. Another one that we like to do that's pretty simple is to cook up your tea. Green tea, spearmint if you don't like the caffeine. Put in your basic vitamins, A, C, E, D, the aminos. They help with different things. The D takes a while to build up in you. Do them regularly. Do not overdo the vitamins. Into basically making your tea as it cools down. Put in some baking soda as much as you can stand and drink it on a regular basis during the day. What we've been doing for aerobic is basically making some of these mixes and putting it on our mufflers, the part that falls in front of our face, drying it out at nighttime, and then every week washing it and starting it again. The best thing, of course, is to do your dose. As we said, blockers, nobody could answer. The best answer we came up with as far as can you take them all at once? Well, call us and tell us if you have any reactions or die. I won't tell you who that's from, but a federal agency, I think that a lot of people and a lot of other agencies look to for answers. It was a little surprising. Some of the other information concerning the contamination as well as remediation. You can see this in focus. As I said again, is to make certain that you're not going to cause an allergic reaction to yourself by combining it. Just the same as some people have an allergen to seafood or penicillin, you might have an allergen when mixing a combination of these things together. Once you've done your blockers, then reinforce yourself regularly with the defenders and the things that undo the problems. The blueberry banana mix we talked about there is actually pretty good. Thankfully for avocados and Asian markets and dollar stores, they're a lot more affordable. These are some more that were recommended, what their use is, their purpose, what they do, which category they fall into as far as are they defenders or remedials. And some additional ones on the baking soda baths. People forget that the skin is the largest organ, just the same as baking soda will act as a base and neutralize battery acid, poison in your skin from the sun. Is overdoing it can dry you out. Okay. This is some additional information on that also. Now, well, some of the places that we have researched through United States Army Medical Consequences to Nuclear Consequences of Exposure Agency, the Center for Disease Control, the International Journal of Health, who we've come to respect. It's a group of people, doctors, researchers, that are very much drove into eradicating the problems from nuclear exposure. some of the other deterrents that we're recommending are preventatives for the future. One, we know that maline or nickel, Holland weights of military and other ships, attracts the salt to those weights. And it does not, it keeps most of the salt from getting to the ship or whatever vessel they have in the water. We believe and are trying to find out what sort of substance or element will work as an absorber for the contamination. I'm surprised that nobody's brought this up. We think, well, we're asking that everybody begin to lobby, demand from your representatives that buoys, sentries, collectors be placed up and down all through the coast, not just in target areas, to collect the contamination and regularly be cleaned out and dispose of hazardous waste wherever it is they have been for the past decades. If nothing else, this should remediate the problem. The statistics they're expecting cancer over the next 15 years, they don't have any exact measures, but I know that they realize it's a problem. I just got word that the president has ordered unlimited millions of doses for, I guess, everyone in the United States of potassium iodide, which was what was recommended originally when this was occurring. That leads us all to believe that they know A, it's a problem, B, that it is cesium-137 that is the major contaminant. Most of the state agencies have been stonewalling and basically saying, don't worry about it, it's not a problem. I'm sure they've had their remediants. At the same time, we've requested, if it's not a problem, will you take a standard naval life raft desalt machine? It's a very simple device that dips into the ocean for people stranded on lifeboats and removes the salt. Will you drink a gallon or a cup of that water off the coast? They have all declined. Moreover, I believe that we should be demanding of our politicians some sort of NORAD system that doesn't just have to do with income, that has to do with any type of disaster or danger that's coming to us next, the full facts about it. I personally believe that because of the last regimes, the money was not available. And basically the state took the stand of, let's take our remediants and cover our eyes and wait for the other shoe to drop, the other animal to drop. We know for us along the coast, it's worse. Why? Porque Wisama, Varun, Bucket, Pachamo. Because, as I said, the water makes it worse, and we are in water. If you're not within sight of it, it's in you in the fog and the rain. It's in the air. And it's one of those things that you can't turn your back on. The nice part about it is we have the ability to inundate our representatives until they understand it is our right at least to be able to live. Next, we also know that, trying to get the Japanese view on this is they're basically turning their back. We also know that they've been sending their contaminated product, granite, I believe plates, jewelry, quite a few other different things, to us, the United States, through China. I believe that even if they could close their eyes and say it was an accident and a contamination, that purposely sending probable disease and death over to us clearly shows their attitude, their stance, their attitude, and I personally believe it's an act of aggression, attempted murder. Where is the state, where is anyone going to come up with the money to install these sentries, to collect the hazmat, to dispose, to assist people in remediating this problem? I think a nice, intensive, comprehensive international lawsuit against not just the company, but Japan, after they've shown complete disregard for human life, for our population, the next thing, I think common sense would tell us to divest to China, Japanese manufacturing because of their practices. I don't think there's anything someone can own that's worth they would suffer the consequences of nuclear exposure for. I think that there should be not only a tariff, but a blockade on any sort of product coming out of these countries after what they did. I think that allowing them to continue to import into us after they have purposely attempted to put people into unreasonable and senseless suffering and death is simply an invitation to continue it in another form. We are constantly inundated with these problems. It doesn't just have to do with recent events. Some people are a little confused and say, do you mean the first one or the second one? That's the point. Between nuclear testing, fallout from China, their testing, which is regular, the rest of that, it hasn't given people a chance to begin to recover from each event before the next ones are on us. It is time very much to limit the ability of anyone to deal death, disease on other people without their consent. I think international legislation is an end. And it basically comes down to, do you have a right to tell people not to kill you one way or another? I think the answer is self-evident. What can you do about it? Let your legislatures, let the federal government know. Good luck. And if you have any comments, even if you want to throw stones, but especially if you have information about alternative treatments, more effective treatments, information on materials that would work as absorbers, then please feel free to email us at Don't Poison My People. DNTPOSNMYPPLE Delta, Nora, Tango, Prison, Oreo, Simba, Nora, Alpha, no, excuse me, that's Nora, Mary, Yo-Yo, Prison, Lima, Echo, at gmail.com. Thank you, and I'm sure if we stick together, we can do something about this. Good luck and good night.